Reload, right. So what I'm going to be doing, if I can make this work, is actually do a play-by-play analysis of Onya's game as a teaching event, basically. So just to see if I can provide some advice for him specifically, but I guess it should be helpful for everyone. So I hope it's entertaining. I am going to try and go through it relatively quickly. It shouldn't take as long as a full game, and I think I might have time for just one more after that. So are you guys seeing the game at all? Let's see. Yes, you are. So on Cabal TV, I guess this is it. Somerset United Princessian? Is that female princesses? Cool. Well, that works relatively easily. Magica Stadium. Let's see. These are high elves playing against orcs. Not an ideal matchup. Yeah, I can skip this part. So let's have a look. What have we got? Pretty rookie team value. So the more rookie a matchup is, the more it's down to luck, usually, on average. So this is completely rookie, yes. And so is your opponent, by the looks of things. So I'm just gonna skip through this. So he receives. Your setup looks good. Lineman here. Blitzer, thrower. You don't have a catcher then? You went with 3 rerolls, I guess. So, not much happened here. You're setting up for a potential surf next turn, I guess. Sounds solid. You got the ball deep. So what you might want to do in a situation like this is just send 1 or 2 players around here, because it will force him to close up the cage quickly, right? If he just moves with this guy, thrower, movement 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If he only moves, the cage ends up here. But if this is not pressured, then he can decide to just keep his thrower here and make a wall there. So if you can get 1 or 2 guys behind this wall to pressure the ball, then he'll need to either make a pass, which is risky, or he'll need to regroup all the way back there because of the pressure. In this case, he's regrouping back there anyway. And so the fact that he has to regroup down here rather than stay up ahead basically costs him a turn or 2. So it should mean that you can start forming a defensive line, hopefully around here. There's a bit of a visual bug with the dice disappearing. Can I speed this up without... Oh, no. I would like to have it move faster without me skipping the turns. Is that possible? Does anyone know? First time I've used Cabal Vision, actually. So the problem is he's still got this wall of... Why was that a 1 die? I'm guessing it was a 2 die. Yes, it was. It's just not showing that. Okay, so this is interesting. 1 die surf. Not bad. You could have opted for a double surf, but that would have really given away a lot of position. But overall, well played. It would have cost you your blitz action to hit the Black Orc into the blitzer guy. Yeah, this looks fine. So the one problem is that you're unable to get a screen up here, but I guess that's not related to how how you decided to play this. Let's see where he goes. Right. So at this point, you really want to have column defense set up, right? He's only used 3 turns, but he's already over the line of scrimmage. So you want to prioritize column defense over blocking and blitzing. I mean, if you can get the blocks and blitzes in, that's fine. But it really shouldn't be your priority. Your priority should be making sure he doesn't move more than 1 square per turn. Yes, I would have also rerolled that. So you've still got 2. He doesn't have any. That might be interesting. So one thing that you really lack in early elves, not high elves specifically, is dodge. So the problem with your surf here is that it costs you a lot of players for some time, which might make... So your columns are relatively incomplete. This guy needs to go... Yes, that's a pity. So to be fair, you really want a couple of dodge, right? High elf starts very incomplete, and orc start pretty complete. So that's tough. Oh, but he suffers a turnover from blitzing with a black orc. So good shot at the ball. This guy doesn't have guard. You cannot get an assist in, so you'll just get a 1 die. With block, I guess. Do you have block somewhere? Yes, you do. Oh, this is a pretty... Oh no, you've got an assist there. Right. Or you cancel the assist there, I should say. Oh, that's an interesting set of bounces. Oh, very unlucky. Very unlucky. With that bouncing out, it should have gone here, but the fact that it bounced back a couple of times and got caught on a 6 at some point, or a 5+. Yeah, that could have gone better for you, for sure. Yeah, so I would have... You really want to keep a column here if he hands off or gets free. You really don't want him to get past. He's in a hurry-ish. Let's see what he does with his journey. Right, so he's just blocking everyone off.
Fatality.
Killing Berta along the way. So you've got another shot at the ball, but this time he's got strength 4. So you need an assist and to cancel there, and you'll want a block guy. Who's stuck down here. Your armor rolls have been quite alright. So this is, well, this was the right play, I'd say. Rolling both down is not something I can hold you accountable for. You want to get an assist up here. Huh. So I would have wanted to blitz with him, which means, so I guess this guy was going to assist here to block him off so you could blitz there, hit the guy with a 1 die with block, hopefully clearing up the ball. Ooh, another dead guy.
Fatality.
Well, eventful first half. Very eventful. What turn are we at? Turn 6. No rerolls. You still can't get a 2 die easily. I'm surprised that he hasn't stood anyone up. That seems like a real noob move on his end. Because that's what gives you full rain now. So 2 dice in the ball. Pow is nice. I would have put him here, I think, because these are the guys that need to go and get it at some point. So if you put the ball here, it has a better chance of winding up out there, and that's where you want the ball to go at some point, right? It's still in 1 tackle zone. That's a pity. Yeah, this could definitely have been the play of the game if she'd had a reroll or some more luck. Yeah, I don't really find much fault in your play. It's you know, yeah, this is a bit of personal coaching. That is correct. So the main analysis of this game is that rookie matchups are very dice heavy. Elves are going to have to do dodges, and they don't have the dodge skill. They don't have a lot of rerolls, so you're really relying not on the number of snake eyes that you're rolling, but simply the number of ones that you're rolling. So it's very hard to really decide upon. I think you've played pretty effectively. It's just that rookie games get determined by randomness a lot. You have been making a lot of armor successes, so in that sense you were actually lucky, I think. Okay, so go. Where are you taking that? Why are you handing off? Okay, so this was very risky, right? Because this is turn 7, and if you had failed that handoff, you had no option to score. What you would have preferred to do... Oh, no, don't take... What you could have done was just run here, which means that at the very least you've got one guy in touchdown range. And then you can move the other guy as well if you want. But after picking up, going here and then making another die roll before you have someone in touchdown range, I would have really called that a mistake. Tough to see how you didn't win, you mean? Well, so there's 2 dead orcs, but there's also only 1 dead elf. You look in position to take this home, the first half. So I'm guessing you scored 1-0 on your 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So you scored 1-0 on your receiving, on your kicking half, and you outbashed the orcs. So you played it well and you got lucky, I'd say. Especially in the bash department, this was... So he scores, fine. 1-0 for the high elves. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 players. He's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So at this point you should be winning, yes. So this is apparently not where the problem is. You're receiving... Wait. Why isn't this going back? Oh, it is going back. This is weird. So you're receiving in a very... I'm trying to figure out just what happened here, because you're supposed to be receiving, but I see the ball over there. Why is the ball showing us here? Is that a bug? It is a bug, okay. That makes sense. So you're receiving, you've left the ball lying on the ground, you're moving ahead, hoping to get in a receiving position, I guess. So this looks very scattered, and scattered is not bad. But you also want to have enough to at least screen off the ball, right? So let me go back and see how you got there. So this is already a very widespread... Oh, yes. So in your setup, I think you've already... Well, you've done some things differently than I would have done. Let's leave it at that. So when you're 1-0 ahead and receiving, that's great news, right? But then you really want to make a decision. You want to choose a side. Your opponent has left it so that this side is quite easily blitzable. This side is not. Now you've got 3 players down here You don't need 3 on the line, 4 on the line really, you only need the 3, which could have been these 3. Personally, I would have put like 1 player there and 1 player there, and taken at least 1 guy out of there. This would have left more players to push to one side. Orcs are slow, so by blitzing him and moving a couple of guys here, you would be basically making these 3 guys irrelevant. And then the 2 guys who were defending up here, who were preventing a blitz basically, they could move back and become the screen for the ball. So you would have 2 going from here to here and from here to there. Whereas one of these guys could pick up the ball, another could assist here. So you want to wind up with 2 clumps of players. One over here with someone who can throw or hand off, and a clump of players over here with someone who can receive. What you did is basically you went everywhere, which means you didn't have a power base anywhere. And I think that's a big problem, which is probably what you're running into further on in this drive. So your defensive drive was excellent. You played it very well. Only one mistake that I could really tell. But your offensive drive, you're making some really weird decisions, in my opinion. So what I would do in this case is put 1 or 2 guys here to you know, make a blitz slightly less scary, but mostly just focus on this side, steam ahead, consolidate here and there, so that you're wherever you have to act, you're able to do so. Because what we're looking at here is that you've got a clump of players here, which can get outstrength. You've got 1 player here who can sort of get the ball. You've got these guys here which want to move but are just not strong enough. So you split your forces 3 ways, where they could have been much more effective split 1 way, or 2 ways. So let's see what happens. Some punches, yes. KOs, they happen. This now leaves you with 1 guy in a good spot. So prioritizing the block on him makes sense. Personally, I would have done it with a block action, not a blitz action, I think. Because you don't really need that blitz per se. So now that you've used your reroll, you really don't want to make any other die rolls. And this is not really safe screen just yet. So there's another thing. Thank Paris. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to always glad to hear back. So what you did here was you set this guy up to form a screen, but it's not actually a screen yet, right? If you look at what happens, you're trying to screen off. I hate that I can't move 1 player at a time. So you're trying to screen off the ball carrier, but you're assuming this roll will succeed, right? And making this roll succeed is nothing you have control over. You know you've already used your reroll, so you want to put the first guy here. Yes. Pause that. So you want to put the first guy here, so that at least you've got a partial screen going on, and then the second guy can go there. Now you've created this wannabe screen that is missing a central chunk and therefore not really working at all. Right. Also, don't roll 1s would be my advice. So Paras, I've just put a ton of videos up on YouTube, so you can have a look there as well if you want. And of course the videos on demand and highlights and stuff still work. And just hit the follow button so you get notified when I come back online. Sage advice indeed, don't roll 1s. Well, you know, if you can help it. So personally I would have tried blitzing the ball here probably, although the troll didn't really help. As the orcs, I mean. Okay, so this is a fine play. Now you've got a good shot at passing. Oh, what was that? What was that? Where did you... What happened?
I have had it with these motherfucking snakes!
Right, so you were dodging here. Oh wow, Velenig, I like it. I like it a lot. Ah, cool. I'm glad that you're you're now binge watching my videos. Cool. Yeah, doing that dodge would make the pass easier. So the question is, how much can you afford to roll? You had a reroll, so that's not bad. But the question is, you've got you had the choice between doing a dodge here or doing a go for it there, right? And it's not bad to make it, but if you had to choose between going flat on your face here or there, here would have been a lot better, right? So also, if you decide not to take a risk here, but only take a risk there, you could afford to move this guy first. So because there's no risk taking here, you know that the ball's not going to land here. So what you do is you move this guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or maybe even mark this black orc from the back, or mark this guy. And then you go with this guy. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you make the go for it. But then on the place where you will start making risks, where you start rolling dice, you've already got this guy. Because there's no need to take risks here in a bad spot if you can take the same risk, 2+ roll, in a good spot later. So those kinds of decisions happen a lot in Blood Bowl. And you don't usually see them, but this is a clear example where if you thought about it beforehand, you could have realized, okay, the risk is the same, but the outcome on a failure is much worse here. So that's something to consider. So, Vilenig, do you have any idea how to set up a bot like that? And yes, of course it's very unlucky. And this is exactly what often happens with rookie coaches, that they will see that it was unlucky, and that they won't see that it was unlucky and a mistake. And this is really something that can tell like the really experienced coaches with thousands of games from the people who play like 100. Exactly. It's about risk management, and it's about thinking, okay, so what you'll often hear me say out loud to myself is I'm making a decision and I'm going, okay, suppose this fails, where do I want this guy to be? You might remember hearing me say that a couple of times already. So I'm considering my options. I'm saying, okay, I'm going to go there, then I'm going to have a tricky part there. Once I get there, that's where things might go wrong. Where do these players have to be? Suppose that goes wrong, which means moving this guy before you move that guy. And it means making that go rather than this dodge. This becomes a lot different when, for instance, the guy has the dodge kill. Because as soon as you have the dodge kill, making the dodge instead of the go is actually profitable. Cool, Itchy Scott. I'm glad you like it. It does look very pro. Bustahemo did a great job making the overlay. Yep, I like it. Cool. So yeah, I would say this was probably a turning point in the game, and there was something you could have done about it. I'm really not trying to say that you did a bad job or anything, but since you're asking for what could I have done better, this would be probably a pretty key thing. So I guess we can predict how this pans out. A couple of blocks and blitzes later. Why is this a 1-die? Oh, so that's a bug again. It looks like a 1-die, but that's just the visuals. He picks it up, and that is the beginning of the end, I guess. See, end of the turn. You still get a shot at him. Turn 9 leading up to this. So you mean the setup, right? So the thing is, you want to plan your moves ahead of time. You want to have some consideration of what happens on a blitz, what happens on a perfect defense, what happens on a quick snap, etc. But most importantly, you want to think, okay, suppose the kickoff result is just weather change. The ball bounces somewhere average. what are the moves that every player is going to do. You want to have your whole turn planned out ahead of time. Where do I need my guards? Where do I make my cage? Where do I make my sideline cage? Who will do what in what order? Who can assist before moving away? Stuff like that. This is very hard to really pinpoint or reduce to one simple example, but it's basically this whole map of your game plan for the first turn, and also for the whole drive, basically. Knowing all of that will inform where to put your players. So this obviously sucks. You wanted to knock down there, but didn't get it. So some dodges, some blocks. So in this case, this block looks very important because you're saving this player, but you know, you've got these guys here, which might be a problem. And personally, I would have just stood up this guy probably. Sure, he's in danger, but the most important thing is that he's marking these guys. And if you could, like, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you could mark this guy as well, then it would be a lot safer. Although, to be fair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're pretty far away still, so it might not matter that much. So this is you focusing on the score. At this point, your opponent has the ball, and the potential for scoring is not nearly as important as the ability to stop him. So you want to really put players here rather than there. Yeah, running plays are definitely the way to go. So the ability to pass is nice as a plan B, but usually it's better to make a running play if you can. So this was a blitzer, not a bob. That matters. I don't really see that too well, but yes. So now he's got a one-die. Oh, huh? Did this guy just not act? Was that time or something? No. So obviously you're. Oh yeah, so that sucks. You had only a push to blitz or to surf, and you failed it. Well, shit happens. And I guess now he blitzes and pushes you off. And that's the game, basically. Why doesn't he follow that? So, first half you had some pretty big luck. Second half you had some pretty bad luck. And first half you played it rock solid, and second half you had some mistakes, I would say. And some more ones. Yep. Sage advice: do not roll ones. Yeah, so that about sums this up. Yes. Fine. So you've still got 2 turns, so you're hopeful. Yeah, so not having rerolls is definitely a big deal. You even had 3 though. Having a catcher might have also helped, of course, because movement. Oh wait, let's have a look at your setup, because I think they're doing the same thing again. Yeah, no problem, mate. So here you have the same problem, right? You're trying to get through here, and here, and here. True, Villainous point is very astute. So what you want to do, this is complete rookie. I think neither team has a single skill up. So what you want to do is pick a side, right? So now you're not willing to commit. You have to score in 2 turns, which means you have to form a power base along either this flank or this flank and somewhere in the middle. If you can get a sideline cage, that's nice. If you cannot, at least form a couple of guys here so that if they get marked, one of them can block the other off, etc. You want too much at the same time, you wind up getting none of it. It's basically about decision making, which is funny because that's what I did my PhD on. So I can't tell where the ball is going because bugs and stuff, but I'm guessing it's somewhere over here. Oh, or somewhere out there even. So here, this is also something to consider, right? You've got the ball here, which is nice for a pass or a handoff. But the thing is, the ball needs to go there, and you don't have a reroll, which means any handoff or pass will be dangerous. You need the ball here this turn, which means one of these guys should get it. Is any of them a blitzer? Yeah. So the blitzer's not in a good spot here. What you want is to get the blitzer, say here, and get it, blitz him with it. So give the ball to the blitzer on the out of bounds, blitz this guy off and walk there, and then use the rest for screening. Because then you've already got the ball here, and that saves you another roll, right? You don't want to fail a 2+ handoff on turn 16 without a reroll. So the ball going out of bounds could have prevented that roll from ever having to happen. Also, that would be even better if you picked the side, right? Because if you picked the side, then these three guys would be around here, which then could move around. So you blitz this guy, you block that guy, and you've got a big squad here, which can actually screen off a bit. So you'd have a couple of players dotted around this line with your semi-cage or your half-line cage, sideline cage up here. So you'd have the blitzer, lineman, and then a couple of more linemen down here. And that could really, really help. Like what my source just did with a lot of luck on his 5-foot dodge. So I think your main learning point would be the setup for an offensive drive. I think that's really something to think about. So yeah, and also don't roll skulls on both downs. So it's nice, you've basically got a couple of people on the chat coaching you now. So also priority is getting one guy into touchdown range, because you made a block here, which was fine, but then you didn't move the other guy to stand over here. If you had, you'd have a shot at the touchdown now, because he caused a turnover and there was really no risk anymore. Turn 7, turn 15, always get an elf in touchdown range. Always. Just the one, even if it's just for pressure. You want to have options. So yeah, the game's done because this is a nonsense turn now.